Okay, let's unpack this. We stumbled upon this story, and it's really quite something. It feels almost mythological, but it actually happened like just recently in 2025.
Yeah, it's this fascinating intersection, isn't it? You've got the world of high-level military strategy bumping right up against deep, deep spirituality.
Exactly, and it all went down in this place steeped in ancient history and belief.
It's one of those moments that really makes you pause, makes you think about the different layers just woven into a society. A top general meeting a major spiritual figure. What happened next is, well, pretty remarkable.
Right, so picture this. May 29th, 2025, we're in Chitrakoot, this ancient, really serene town in Madhya Pradesh.
And Chitrakoot isn't just any town, is it? For people familiar with India, it's huge. It's known as the Tapabhumi.
The land of penance, yeah. For Lord Ram himself.
Yeah.
History and mythology, they're not separate things there. They're completely intertwined.
And right into this incredibly spiritual setting comes the chief of the Indian Army, General Upendra Dwivedi.
And this wasn't just a quick handshake, was it? He was there to meet Jagadguru Rambhadracharya, a spiritual leader with immense authority.
A real heavyweight in the spiritual world.
Yeah, the material we looked at really painted a vivid picture. The general's visit actually kicked off the day before, May 28th. He arrived with his wife.
And one of the first things they did was visit the glass temple at Tulsi Peeth.
That's right, part of the Seer's whole ashram complex. Just being in Chitrakoot must feel like stepping into another era.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling, that sense of timelessness is really key to understanding why this meeting felt so significant.
And Jagadguru Rambhadracharya himself, what an incredible figure.
Truly, the sources describe him not just as a leader, but almost like a polymath. He's received the Padma Vibhushan, knows scriptures backwards and forwards.
And he's been blind since he was a child, yet recites entire texts from memory. It's just, wow.
Astounding. And his ashram, Shri Tulsi Peeth, it's a major center. Not just for spiritual learning, but they're doing serious social work too, like running this top-notch eye hospital.
So you've got this meeting, head of a modern army, focused on strategy and security.
Meeting a revered spiritual guide whose influence comes from wisdom, scripture, and, well, service to others. It really felt like two different kinds of power coming together. Two titans, as you said.
Right. And the absolute core of this visit, the part that really got everyone talking, was this spiritual initiation.
Yes. The general received the Ram mantra directly from the Jagadguru.
Okay, so this mantra, we learned it's not just any chant. It has a specific, powerful history, right?
It does. The material connects it directly to a pivotal moment in the Ramayana. It said, this is the very mantra Masita gave to Lord Hanuman.
Right before Hanuman went to Lanka.
Exactly. Before that incredibly dangerous mission. It's seen as a divine boost, for courage, for success against the odds.
So giving this mantra, it immediately sets a certain tone. It invokes that epic story.
It frames the whole encounter in that context of a divinely backed, challenging quest. Very potent symbolism.
And then came the request, framed as Guru Dakshina.
Which is, for anyone listening who might not know, the traditional offering a student gives a teacher after receiving knowledge or initiation. It's ancient. Usually something symbolic, a mark of respect.
Usually. But this is where the story just takes this wild turn.
Completely. Because the Guru Dakshina that Jagadguru Rambhadracharya asked for was,
Right.
well, it was Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.
Coke? He asked for PoK
Yeah,
as the offering.
he did.
That's not your typical Guru Dakshina. That's a geopolitical hot potato wrapped in spiritual tradition.
Precisely. It's taking this deeply cultural, spiritual concept and applying it to one of the most contested issues in the region. It completely reframes what an offering can mean.
And just so we're clear for everyone listening, PoK, Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, refers to those parts of the old princely state of Jammu and Kashmir run by Pakistan since 1947.
Right. And India maintains its claim over that territory as an integral part of the country, which of course makes it a decades-long, incredibly sensitive flashpoint.
Definitely. And when we talk about this, we're just relaying the context from the source materials we review, the historical background, not taking sides, just sharing the information as presented.
Absolutely. Now, the timing of this request, it's not random. It's critical.
Yeah, this didn't happen in a vacuum. It came just weeks after something major had occurred. Operation Sindoor.
Yes. Operation Sindoor. That was India's military response after that horrific terror attack in Pahalgam back on April 22nd, 2025.
God, that was awful. 26 civilians killed.
Terrible. And Operation Sindoor, launched May 7th, was described as a pretty swift and forceful response. Indian forces targeted 9 specific terror bases.
And these bases were in Pakistan and PoK itself.
Correct, which led to about 4 days of pretty intense cross-border firing. Things finally quieted down with a ceasefire on May 10th.
And General Dwivedi, the man meeting the Seer, he led this operation.
He did, alongside the Navy Chief, Admiral Tripathi, and the Air Force Chief, Marshal Singh. It was a coordinated effort. The sources even mentioned a booklet being circulated in the Army afterwards, showing the ops room during Sindoor. Real focus from the top brass.
Okay, so let's connect the dots here. You have this recent high-profile military operation striking targets in PoK in response to terrorism.
Then just a few weeks later, the army chief is in this spiritual heartland, Chitrakoot, receiving a mantra specifically linked to victory in a tough quest.
And the Seer asks for that exact territory, PoK, as his symbolic offering.
Wow. The symbolism is just incredibly layered and powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
By giving the Ram mantra invoking Hanuman's journey to Lanka and then asking for PoK.
The Seer is basically casting General Dwivedi as a modern-day Hanuman.
Essentially, yes. With PoK as his Lanka to be reclaimed, it's this fusion of ancient epic narrative with very current national aspirations.
It's almost theatrical. And like the material pointed out, there's a certain audacity to it, asking for disputed land like it's a simple gift.
Definitely got people talking. There was even a sort of dark humor noted in some reactions to the sheer boldness of it.
But the visit wasn't just this one dramatic moment, was it? The general spent time on other things, too.
That's right. He was also involved with the ashram social work, particularly the eye hospital.
The Jagadguru Rambhadracharya. He inaugurated some new tech there.
Yeah, a state-of-the-art simulator, like virtual reality for training eye surgeons. Pretty advanced stuff being used for humanitarian work right there in the ashram complex.
It's impressive. So he wasn't just there for the spiritual aspect, he engaged with the service side too.
Exactly. He toured the hospital, met the staff, the patients. This hospital, run by the Sadhguru Seva Sangh Trust, does vital work free or very low-cost eye care for people who really need it.
And the general praised their work, apparently emphasizing that the Army's role isn't just security, but it connects with India's cultural and social values.
It paints a bigger picture, doesn't it? Leadership engaging on multiple levels.
Absolutely. When you zoom out, this whole Chitrakoot event, it's such a unique snapshot of how spirituality and national identity can really weave together in India.
It is. And that request for PoK, in this specific context, it becomes more than just about land. It taps into unresolved history, national feeling, the ongoing fight against terrorism.
And framing it as Guru Dakshina, invoking the Ramayana, it connects with this deep cultural current. It gives a complex political issue a very resonant, almost mythic dimension.
And you saw that resonance in the public reaction described in the sources, right?
Yeah.
People responding on social media.
Yeah, a real mix. Everything from deep pride and spiritual inspiration.
To a kind of amused admiration for the sheer nerve, the chutzpah of the request.
It shows how deeply that issue, the PoK issue, is felt. But also how symbolism and maybe even a bit of humor can sometimes make these really heavy topics feel more, I don't know, accessible.
Yeah, it's complex.
Yeah.
So wrapping our heads around this, we've done this deep dive into this one moment, this meeting in Chitrakoot.
And we've peeled back these layers, the spiritual significance, the historical echoes, the very real geopolitics swirling around it.
It's just a really striking example of how faith and national goals aren't always in separate boxes. They can powerfully merge, creating these moments loaded with symbolism.
And rooted in real-world stuff, like security concerns and territorial disputes. That request for PoK as Guru Dakshina, it's way more than just a quirky headline.
It really is a window, isn't it, into the feelings, the narratives surrounding PoK in India, especially coming right after Operation Sindoor.
And it also shows, maybe, that leadership, even at the highest military levels, connects with that cultural, spiritual core. Like the general acknowledging the hospital's work. It's not just about the battlefield.
Definitely food for thought. As we finish up, here's something maybe to mull over. How do acts like this, these symbolic moments that draw on deep spiritual or mythic narratives, actually shape how people see complex issues like border disputes or national security?
Yeah, what does it tell us about a country when its spiritual figures and military leaders engage in this kind of dialogue right out in the open about things like territory?
It's a lot to think about, for sure. Just one fascinating piece of the global puzzle we got to explore today, based on what we found.